The coaster pit officially has 3 roller coasters. It features an Intamin Impulse, an inverted, and an RMC hybrid coaster now that goes around the perimeter. We also have built 3 thrill rides, and all of the guests are loving everything so far. And today, I'm excited to announce that we'll be building a food court for the ants, so the ants can get all their nutrients, so they can remain in the park for as long as they want and spend all of their money to ride all of our attractions and buy all of our merchandise. So as a reminder, this first dome is themed after Yosemite Park, and I had the opportunity to visit Yosemite Park with my father last year, and we got to hike the trails, see the waterfalls, and we got to have dinner at a restaurant that was at this lodge, this resort at Yosemite that people could stay at. And it had a modern log cabin architecture style. So, modern architecture, but with a lot of old wood and logs and Western themes kind of plugged into it all. And I decided that that was the type of theme that I'm going to use when creating this food court for the guests. It's going to have a modern, old Western log cabin theme. So I wanted the layout to this food court to be multi-leveled and to be broken up. I didn't want to have a simple, large, open floor plan. I thought it'd be cool to have different little sections so the guests could buy their food in one portion and then maybe take it to a more quiet and secluded area to eat the food. I also want the food court to have multiple floors because I want this to look like a nice, huge, big log cabin. So this building is going to be big. I think the best thing to compare this to would be a Bass Pro shop. I don't know how many of you guys have been to Bass Pro shops recently. I know everybody's been seeing the hats. The hats have become wildly popular for whatever reason. I mean, they're kind of cold, but if you've never been to a Bass Pro, some Bass Pro shops are really, really nice. The scenery indoors is awesome. They'll have lots of wildlife, giant fish tanks, aquariums, waterfalls, wildlife exhibits. It can be pretty tight. A fun little fact about me is I was born in Springfield, Missouri. And Springfield, Missouri is actually the home of the very first Bass Pro shop. And it is a big boy. Like, it is very, very nice. I've been to a few others in the country, and none of them have been as nice as the one in Springfield. I'm not sure if there's any other Bass Pro shops out there that are like really over the top, but the one in Springfield, Missouri is crazy intricate. So that'll be one point of inspiration. Something else I grew up with that actually is some great inspiration is there's a theme park near my hometown called Silver Dollar City. And for anybody who's been to Silver Dollar City, you know that it's one of the best theme parks in existence. It's really a hidden gem because it's in the middle of nowhere, but it is so much fun and the scenery is so good. When you go there, it feels like you're going back into the Old West, but obviously with a modern twist because there's theme park rides. But the entirety of Silver Dollar City is themed after the Wild West. 100%. Like, that's all they go for. And they nail it. Like, they picked a theme, they stuck with it, and they killed it. And I would say that I went to this theme park over 100 times over my life because there were some years my parents would get our family season passes, and if we had those, we would probably go once every other week for the entire year because it was open almost all year long. Like, we would get our money's worth. And a few years ago, they installed this new roller coaster called the Time Traveler, and sheesh, it's such a good ride. It's a spinning coaster, but it has a couple launches, and the beginning drop is amazing. It is a must ride, and the theming of the station is really, really good. It has a lot of clocks everywhere, and they only play music related to time. Like, I remember them playing Clocks by Coldplay, and that one song that's like, time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. And just funny stuff like that. But Time Traveler, must ride. Also, I think I saw an article saying that RMC, the people that made all of these steel hybrid coasters and single rail coasters, we talked about all that last episode, they're building their first dark ride in Silver Dollar City. And it's a remodel of Fire in the Hole, which is one of the first rides they ever built in Silver Dollar City. It is being remodeled by RMC, and I am so intrigued to see what is going to happen with that. For the other people who have gone to SDC, you know what I'm talking about. This is kind of a big deal. Fire in the Hole is like a classic. Also, Rocky Mountain Construction making their first dark ride has me very intrigued. I really am interested to see how they do this. And I have high expectations because Fire in the Hole was a pretty damn good dark ride. Not gonna lie. The whole entire concept is you're kind of back in the boondocks and something happens that causes the forest to catch on fire. And all of the cabins and all the bridges and everything is starting to burn down and you're in the middle of it. It's really fun, and there's a few scary drops. At one point it feels like you're about to get hit by a train, but it was starting to get a bit dated, so I'm very excited to see what they do with it. Today's comic question of the day is going to be, what theme park do you consider to be your home theme park? And if you do not have a home theme park, what is the closest theme park to you geographically? And then also let me know, do you like this theme park? How do you feel about it? Tell me a little bit about it. Now, last episode I asked you all, what was the last theme park you visited? This comment said that they visited Silver Dollar City, which, heck yeah, it seems like they had a fantastic time because they were the time traveler. There it is. Somebody said Mirabilandia, which European theme parks have some of the craziest names I have ever seen. I was blown away. Now, some of the theme parks that people have been to that I've also visited are Six Flags Fiesta Texas, which I really enjoyed that park. Superman, very fun ride. Kings Island in Ohio, which I went there right as they opened up Orion, and Orion was so much fun. And Universal Studios in Los Angeles, which I currently have a season pass there right now because of Super Nintendo Land opening up. I'm actually going to be going tomorrow with my mom. And then 3 parks that I have not been to that people talked about were Alton Towers, Carowinds, and Hershey Park, which I've heard so much about all these parks, but still have not been. So many parks out there that I haven't been to, but hopefully within my life I get to visit a majority of these theme parks because theme parks are some of the best things that humankind have created in the modern day. I think before roller coasters and theme parks were invented, most funding went towards gigantic churches and cathedrals and monuments. But since the invention of theme parks, it seems like humanity has just kind of gone all in on those and stadiums. Civilization loves stadiums, which that's where concerts happen. That's where giant sporting events happen. So don't blame them. Although it would be cool to see the world start building more monuments. Although, I guess America kind of has one. We now have the Las Vegas Sphere, the giant LED sphere that they built in Las Vegas, where whenever you see pictures of it online, you think you're seeing a meme at first, but no, apparently it's real. I have yet to see it live in person. I'm still not sure if I actually believe if that sphere is real or not, or if everything I'm seeing is like photoshopped, because it almost seems fake. But I should possibly be going to Vegas next month for TwitchCon, and if I do, I will get to see for myself if the Las Vegas Sphere is real. I will let you guys know once I know myself. Personally, I think the sphere looks awesome. Like one of the coolest looking things I've seen in a long time. It seems like a modern marvel to a certain degree. It seems super expensive to build, but it also has me wondering if we'll see more of them pop up around the world in the future, because they might end up being cheaper in the future. And if that's the case, it seems like a great way to drive tourism. I wish I could build an LED dome inside my theme park. I kind of could. It would be possible for me to build something like that. It just would not be nearly as cool as the Las Vegas dome. So let's take a moment and talk about this food court that we're building, because I've made quite a bit of progress. I've been using a lot of these giant log pieces to build an infrastructure or frame for the building inside to make it seem like a much sturdier building, and it also really gives it that cabin aesthetic. My tactics to building structures like this is trying to get the simple frame in and then adding the details as you go and making it look nicer and nicer as you progress, because you can only do so much at once, so it's You gotta put one foot in front of the other and just keep building until your vision starts coming to life, and then you refine it and sand it down, kind of like you're forming a vase on a potter's wheel. This park is going to be very detail oriented though. I know I haven't done much detail work yet, but trust me when I say I am going to put in a lot of detail work. Just the first several episodes had to be dedicated to putting in some sort of structure so we knew what we were working with. But this restaurant / food court is going to be one of the first things that I put a lot of detail in, just because I want to build something that looks really nice. And then from here, we're going to keep going and just cleaning up and decorating everything we've built so far. I really do like all of the wooden pieces this game has to offer. The logs, the benches that are made out of the natural wood planks, the different types of wood walls and pillars that we have, the benches, trash cans, fences. All the pieces look pretty darn good. And I am warning you guys right now that it takes me a while to finish decorating this building. I know we've already spent a decent amount of time on it, but we are just getting started. And I've actually finished building it in my playthrough, and I cannot wait for you guys to see the finished product. It's just gonna take a couple episodes to get there. But hopefully in the process of watching me build this, I'll be able to inspire some of you all to be able to build some really cool structures yourselves for your theme parks that you make in Planet Coaster. And I really do find it satisfying to build elaborate builds in Planet Coaster, because after you do so, hundreds if not thousands of virtual little people will walk through it, interact with it, and enjoy it. And you can also view it yourself from the first person. It takes screenshots and video. So Planet Coaster is just really cool in that way. I think the only feature that this game needs now to make it really satisfying is if you could load up your park online with friends and just hang out in a virtual theme park that you create in like VR or even in the third person, kind of like it's Minecraft or Roblox, but Planet Coaster. Like, why can't Planet Coaster have kind of the same online structure as Roblox, where people can log into each other's parks or worlds and just hang out? That would be so cool. I honestly see that as a very likely future for Planet Coaster or the Planet Simulation universe, because Frontier, the creators of Planet Coaster, are still releasing DLC packs for Planet Zoo, adding new features and possibilities. So they're still programming stuff and learning and building upon the animations they have. Like, the amount of animal animations they have in Planet Zoo now is really amazing and beautiful. So if you combine all the assets they've created with Planet Coaster 1 and Planet Zoo, and then also they created a game called Jurassic World Evolution, which is a dinosaur Jurassic Park simulation game. They've created 2 of those now. And I know in the process of doing that, they have also come up with quite a few new things to make the game engine better since creating the original Planet Coaster. So I have high hopes. I would have to look into it, but I don't know if Frontier has done anything as far as online multiplayer is concerned. But I really hope they get into it, because it could be absolutely beautiful for this franchise. Upon doing a little research, it seems like they're just now releasing a game called Warhammer that has some online multiplayer battles, and I think this is their first game with online multiplayer, so hopefully they're figuring some of this stuff out. But Frontier, I freaking love them as a game studio, and I still have a lot of time I can put into more of their games, so I'm not going to ask for too much at the moment, but I just love game companies like this that have a lot of potential. Now, this is all we're building so far, but I think we have a pretty great foundation for our food court. We have several food restaurants in it so far. The ants are absolutely loving it. It's still a little bit bare bones. It could use a lot more decoration, a lot more detailing, and that is truly going to come in the next episode. So make sure you come through for the next episode. You will not want to miss it, because we already put a good amount of time into this place, but watch what happens when we put a lot more time into it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget it, hitting the thumbs up button actually helps these videos get out there a lot more. And I'll see you in the next one.